My manic brain is coming down a little bit, and I thought, well, now that I'm getting back to normal, I could relieve some stress, relieve some pressure from my thinking. It might be good. So I will interview. And this time I tried to be a good girl and stick with the swingers.
That's true.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and on today's episode, guys, we are going to be covering this woman right here who is unable to find her Prince Charming. We hear it a lot these days from women, guys. Where have all of the good men gone? Why can't I find a good man? Why do men keep objectifying us, and yet they date in the most counterproductive way possible to finding said good man? But guys, before we jump into today's episode, as always, remember to subscribe to our other content creators linked in the video description. Hadan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg, they're putting out consistent content for you guys to enjoy, so make sure that you show them some love. Their channels will be linked in the video description. But without further ado, guys, let's take a listen to what this woman has to say and maybe see why men only view her as some bedroom fun. Let's take a listen.
Damn it. My stupid brain has ruined dating. Okay, so I'm temporarily in between playmates. I haven't found one that I really like, and I haven't really had the energy or the mental capacity to deal with playmates, but my manic brain is coming down a little bit, and I thought, well, now that I'm getting back to normal, I could relieve some stress, relieve some pressure from my thinking. It might be good. So I will interview. And this time I tried to be a good girl and stick with the swingers.
Okay, so let's pause it right here. So here we have a woman who is complaining about dating. Okay, she's complaining, literally it says on the screen right here, dating is ruined. And yet the way that she is choosing to date is to go out and engage with people who are only really going to be using her for bedroom fun. This is like men going out here, guys, and complaining about women being gold diggers when all you're doing is flashing a Lamborghini and you're on like seeking arrangements or something like that, and that's how you're finding all of your women. This woman right here is literally trying to look for her Prince Charming by going out there and just straight up engaging in spicy activities right off the bat. I've always said this, guys, since the start of the channel, okay? The way that modern women date is so counterproductive to finding a traditional good man. It is absolutely unreal. They give up all the bedroom fun at the beginning, and then they expect men to come along and to give them a ring, or to come along and give them a relationship when they're literally seeing 5 dudes at the same time, none of which require commitment from them in order to get said bedroom fun. It's astounding to me, guys, how a lot of girls will date like this, and then they'll complain that there are no real men. There are real men out there, there are good men, but you choose to just go out and date people who, just for the sake of bedroom fun, and then you complain when you can't get commitment. But let's continue.
I don't know why I try. I don't know why I even have any remote hope in men whatsoever.
I don't understand why this woman... It's funny to me, guys, because this woman is complaining about men when she's voluntarily entering into situations which, by definition, require no commitment here. So she's going with dudes simply for bedroom fun, and then she's complaining about the nature of men, which she'll continue to go on in a second.
I know I can just use them for their bodies and it'd be fine, but I can use a vibrator for that. I can get the same amount of effect. The cause and effect of using a vibrator in a man are the exact same, unless he possesses some kind of emotional intelligence. But the emotional intelligence is the hardest thing to figure out unless you do a series of tests. And so I was talking to him, we were communicating. And when I finally got to where I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do this, man. This guy is right up my alley. Perfect situation. He's gonna work. And then while I'm trying to explain my thinking to him and how my mind works and my big idea that I'm super excited about, all he wants to talk about is sex. When I just said my mind's not right there, or is not there right now, and I already told him right then, if you're going to talk to me right now, it's on a friend base because I am making TikToks. I'm telling my theories. That's where my mind's at.
Okay, so let's pause it right here. Guys, I want to say this off the bat, okay? So this woman, she referred to, you know, the dudes that she's been seeing at the beginning of the video as playmates. Okay, dudes that she's seeing for bedroom fun. She literally said at the beginning of the video that she's in between playmates, okay? Now she's talking to this guy, and he's clearly talking about the bedroom fun, and she's saying, wait a minute, can't we just talk as friends? Okay, so you're sending some mixed signals right here. Anyone who's looking for a relationship but prefaces a TikTok video by saying that they're within, you know, between playmates has absolutely no idea what on earth they are talking about. Okay, this guy's probably talked to this woman, you know, for the clear purpose of just having bedroom fun, as it sounds like that's what she was looking for. Now she starts talking about her ideas and her, you know, the fact that she just wants to be, she's talking to the guy in a friend capacity. Of course, the guy's just going to ignore you. He's either going to go off or he's going to try a little bit more and then he's going to, you know, screw off and not talk to you anymore. Like, it's kind of like you're looking for your Prince Charming, you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for dudes that you can have long-winded conversations with about your dreams and your aspirations. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to swingers. Maybe you shouldn't be going out here with the idea of looking for a playmate and then trying to turn said playmate into a friend that you talk to about your ideas, your passions, and your hobbies.
Now, should I give him such a hard time because he's an imbecile, or his emotional intelligence is really tiny so he didn't know any better?
There's that word again, guys, right? The emotional intelligence stuff. Like, people will always say, I've heard this so many times covering these videos, a lot of women will come out and say that men are emotionally unintelligent, or we don't know what's going on. And guys, granted, I think that women on average are more socially savvy than men. There's a case to be made for that, certainly. I think that women are a lot better at manipulation, usually a lot better at social situations and stuff like that. But to say that men are just socially unintelligent, I think is a little bit unwarranted. Okay, a lot of guys will, you know, be in a situation, you'll have given them a situation, and then they'll just play their cards according to that situation. If you go into a situation, you're talking to a guy, and you say things like, oh, I'm between playmates, and he thinks it's a romantic thing, of course he thinks it's a romantic thing. You see what I'm saying, guys? But of course, we have to blame it on the lack of emotional intelligence by men. How's this for intelligence? How about if you're looking for some fun, and then all of a sudden you turn around and say that the dude's just for friends? He's going to be a little bit confused by that. Of course he is. He's going to think that you're just there for fun because that's what you've said that you were there for. But let's keep going.
His emotional intelligence is really tiny, so he didn't know any better? Should I just forgive him and give him a benefit of the doubt? Or should I just chalk him up as being chopped liver and just move on right out? Because I'm starting to think if you don't have a certain level of emotional intelligence, this ride is just not for you, because I will take full advantage of you, and now I have a conscience.
Okay, I didn't watch to the end of this clip the first time, but let's just talk about this for a second. She literally says at the end here, I will take full advantage of you. Guys, this is something that a lot of men go through in dating, okay? Whether you've had a girl cheat on you or whatever the case may be. There are individuals out here who are just straight psychotic. They'll say that dating is hard. They'll say that they've been unable to find their Prince Charming. But some of these individuals are just downright evil and will manipulate men and not care at all. This is why I always harp on my videos about why it's so important for people to respect themselves, okay? And I'm not talking about, this stupid level of entitlement that we see these days all over TikTok, and like, oh, I deserve, but just having a healthy level of boundaries so you don't, you don't let psycho like this just run around inside your life, whether or not you're a man or a woman.
I have a conscience.
Absolutely scary stuff here. But guys, let's continue into the next TikTok here. And again, this is another one which is just par for the course of a lot of modern women dating. The fact that this video, which I'm going to show in a second, just exists at all is astounding to me. So I'm going to pull it down so you guys can see what this is about. So she's about to go on about 4 men that you should not date. And we're going to watch the clip together. A lot of you are going to say in the comments, well, oh, Taylor, isn't this incredibly obvious? Why did she feel the need to make this video? And my answer is yes, it is incredibly obvious. And it's actually scary to think that this video was warranted in the first place. So let's take a listen.
Types of men that you don't want to date. The first type of man you do not want to date is a scammer, a drug dealer, or any man involved in criminal activity. And don't ask me stupid questions. Don't ask me why. The reason why you don't want to date a scammer or any man involved in criminal activity is because the man you don't want to attract after that is the man in jail. And that's where all the scammers are going. And don't ask me why you don't want to be dating a man in jail, because the man after that you don't want to be dating is a cheater. And most men in jail are very much that. And
I'm going to pause it here for a second, guys. You know, we hear all the time, okay? I've heard so many women on TikTok, just in real life, complain about, oh, they hate men who are liars, or they hate men who are scammers, or all of this kind of stuff, guys. I tell you what, women certainly seem to love cheaters. They certainly seem to love liars. If you go out and you talk to women about their dating experiences, and you ask them what are the kind of things that they've been through, what have their previous relationships looked like, a lot of them will say very negative things. Like, oh, this guy cheated on me, or oh, this guy was terrible, blah, 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 okay? But you've got to ask yourself, guys, if the woman is in a series of bad relationships, she is the common denominator. This woman is literally here making a video on the types of men that you should avoid, the first of which is a criminal. Like, that isn't just straight up common sense, should tell you something.
that you don't want to be dating is a cheater. And most men in jail are very much that. And I know you ain't asking me why you shouldn't date a cheater. Besides the many reasons, one of the main ones is they have a lot of women that they tend to go around making several children with, which means they have a lot of financial responsibility. And the next type of guy you don't want to be dating is a broke man. And if you mess...
I love how the rationalization here is you shouldn't mess with a guy who's cheating on you or who's likely to be a cheater, because that also means that he's likely to be broke. You know, it's not the moral thing, it's not the backstabbing, it's none of that. It's, oh, if he cheats on you, he probably has no money. And that's the thing that this woman first goes to. That's insane.
With a man that cheats a lot and has all these responsibilities, he's probably very much that. And do not ask me why you shouldn't date a broke man, okay? Because we all know broke men only have romantic talk, swinging off sausage and selling dreams to offer you. And don't you dare tell me that's what you want, because that's how you end up broke yourself, with a baby, alone, crying and screaming out that this man is a waste man. We're not doing that.
Modern day dating advice, ladies and gentlemen. That was just some absolutely fantastic stuff right here. But guys, let's jump into today's Reddit story, and then we're going to wrap up today's nauseating episode. And I thought I would cover this one right here because I thought it was fairly interesting. This is from one of our favorite subreddits, excuse me. Guys, can you tell I'm on an obscene amount of coffee when I record these videos lately? I saw some guy in the comments say, oh, did Taylor get a new microphone or a new setup or something because his voice seems to be going faster? No, the answer to that is I've just had an obscene amount of coffee. But let's jump into this Reddit story here, and it is titled, by a 30-plus-year-old woman, what are some practical ways to open up? So let's take a read. Bit of a background. I'm a 30-year-old woman. After recovering from a breakup of a 3-year relationship in June 2021, I've sort of yo-yoed between I want to meet someone and I'm fine on my own. Basically, she's been casually dating dudes, and you know, a lot of those dudes have kind of turned her down for commitment. When I look at how I want my future to look, I always imagine walking in the countryside on a nice autumn day with a partner that I really like, open to children, but not desperate to have them right away. What do you mean, woman? You are 30 years of age. Give it a few more years and you might not be able to have children at all. So I don't know what this wishful thinking is on about. However, I seem to be enjoying my alone time quite a lot. I do want someone, and I do want to open up to love again, but I'm not sure how. When I go on dates, I feel mostly underwhelmed. Even if the date goes well, I lose interest by the second. This is what dating a whole bunch of dudes and seeing random men does, guys, is even when they go on a date with a man who's genuinely likable, he has some things going for him, they just feel bored and they lose interest by the second, even if the guy sitting across from them is a genuinely good man. When someone rejects me, I get over it super quickly, which makes me think that I'm protecting myself by not caring. I did meet someone interesting, but they're away at the moment and we've only been able to spend about 4 hours together total, so I don't have much to go on beyond liking their company. Yeah, I wonder what this means. Basically, I wonder, what are some practical ways to open up my heart to feel love, excitement, and chemistry again? Basically, how does she get that dopamine, guys, that she misses from Chad? It feels like getting beyond a friendly goodnight hug is a hurdle that I cannot overcome. I'd quite like to be able to do it with this person, but I feel like a nun, frankly. Let me tell you guys, this woman right here is absolutely not a nun. And these girls who say that they've had a break from dating or they haven't been dating for a couple of years are more than often seeing a whole bunch of dudes during that period. But guys, this is something that is probably the most concerning to men right here, which is this. I lose interest by the second. Okay, a lot of these girls, they're not actually dating for love. They're not actually dating because they care about people, or they're not, actually dating because they're empathetic or they want to find something, blah, 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 blah. A lot of them are dating simply because they're looking for that next dopamine hit when they go out there back into the dating market. Looking for some dude that's going to make them feel some type of excitement. Let's have a read of this comment and then we'll wrap up today's episode. This individual, named Untamed Deviance here, who was a 35-year-old, says, I've dated very little since my divorce 5 years ago. Similar to you, I bounce between happy on my own, and this would be nice with someone else also. What I have found is no one I've actually interacted with has outweighed my comfort and freedom of being alone until recently, and it didn't pan out, but that's another story. But that recent experience made me realize I'm just in the mindset of not settling. I'm happy on my own, and I expect a true addition to my happiness. Without that spark, in other words, dopamine, it's just not worth it to me. Interesting stuff. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments to some of the things that we have covered here today. And as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.